saying sorry brings us back to how to say no.
Yeah, and being your authentic self and standing up for yourself. And not this also goes more into like a boundaries thing. How often do you let other people cross your boundaries, and how much is your life controlled by you or just responding to other people's perception of you?
Okay, so you put down the phone and we'll take a look.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. All right, so saying sorry brings us to another subject of how to say no.
Yes.
All right,
Dang it.
How to say no.
Yeah.
how to say no.
Or when, yes.
Or
So
when
you
to
need
say
to know both of those.
And boundaries.
And
About
boundaries.
Yeah.
And I think boundaries is like the bigger issue for all of this, is how often and how much of your day are you responding to people's perception of you, their expectations of you, you know, and your perceived obligation, whether they're actually the one pushing you to that or not. How often are you spending your day doing things to please other people as opposed to
Doing
being
things for
proactive,
yourself.
doing things for yourself, and being proactive with what you want to do with your day. And yeah, boundaries. If we don't say no, we can have enough people assign us or tell us to do stuff that our whole day is spent doing what other people tell us to do, and it can be maddening after a
Well,
while.
especially if you're a mom, if you're one of those PTA moms,
Yes.
you're trying to work and we're trying to have it all, be it all the time, which we don't need to be,
No.
Yeah.
but other people assign us work. Well, you can bring that to school, can't you? You
Yeah.
can do this, can't you?
It's not that hard.
Yeah, I can.
But will I?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
do I want to?
And is
No.
that my priority?
Yeah.
You know, it might be your priority, but if it's not my priority, I shouldn't have to prioritize it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those things that I've learned as I've gotten older. Like 10 years ago, if you'd asked me to do stuff, I would have just done it, even if it meant nothing to me, and I would have just done it.
Yeah.
As where now, you know, my husband sometimes asks me to do stuff, and I'm just like, no. And he
Yeah.
hates that. He's like, why? It's not important to me, and he hates that answer. But it's true. I don't spend energy on certain things.
Yeah.
It's just not a priority. I've learned what's important to me.
Yeah.
Right, and if you're a go-getter, you're someone who has only a specific amount of time for different things. You cannot let that time go.
Yeah, you've got to
That
be
is
the one who
important.
prioritizes your time.
Mm-hmm.
So I am in a couple of online women's groups, like
Mhm.
moms groups, and this is, I would have to say, probably one of the top 2 or 3 things that women are discussing all the time. Either the PTA president or, you know, the church leader or, you know, something like that who's over a group who expresses their frustration. You know, I'm trying to get people to do this, they won't, I'm really upset. You know, why can't people just do this for me? Or the flip side, I have someone assigning this stuff to me all the time. I'm trying to keep up. How does everyone keep up? How does everyone do it all? You know, how does everyone meet all of these expectations that everyone else
Well,
has?
they don't. That's a lie. That's a
They
lie
don't.
on social media.
Yeah,
We all lie on social media.
Right.
I look like I got it together.
yeah.
I don't have it
Neither
together.
do I.
That's okay. We don't have to pretend we do
Yeah.
here. But this is something that we are frustrated with over and over and over again. You know, why can't we just
I think we should all just
Do that.
understand that we're not perfect. We're all trying to get our shit together. That if people can't do it, they can't do it.
yeah.
It's not like they're
And it's
trying
okay.
But it's not, yeah, they're not trying to be offensive. If I tell you no, I'm not trying to
to.
be a
Sorry,
bitch. Yeah, I'm not trying, oh, I'm just saying no.
things
No,
come first.
yeah. There's other priorities.
That is not
I
my
have a life.
priority.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think when we commit to stuff too, we say yes only if we mean it. Like
Mhm.
that is
You have
something
to.
that I am passionate about. That is something I want to be involved in. Yes, I will help with that. And if it is not,
Then just say no.
we can just say no. And it doesn't have to come with a justification. Hopefully that it's, you know, good enough for the person that we're saying no to. No. We just say no.
Yeah,
You can't
being
get your-
unapologetic might mean being not explaining too. I don't
Yeah.
need to explain my reasons. My reason is just no.
My reason is no.
If I can't give my 100%, then I'm not going to do it.
So I saw a meme going around a couple of weeks ago, it was a letter written by E.B. White
Okay.
in like 1953, and she was invited to, you know, this amazing, you know, political hall and party, and she wrote in response, "Thank you very much for inviting me. I must decline for secret reasons. Sincerely, E.B. White."
Is that what you're thinking
Yes,
from?
yes. So I must decline for secret reasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
all.
like that.
It doesn't require an explanation.
Doesn't.
Mhm.
Even that's kind of explaining.
Right.
But still.
My reasons are my
yeah,
own.
yeah, my reasons are my own, and that's okay to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Me
a lot.
too.
Yeah.
Now, so I'll talk about my husband a lot, but my husband, so we're LDS for Mormon. It's, you know, I was asked to do something in the primary, the children's church, and I said no. And my husband was like, "You told the church no?"
You don't get to say no.
Yeah.
You say yes.
Yeah, and he goes, "Why?" And I was honest with him. I didn't say this to the bishop when he asked me, but I go, "I don't like other people's kids."
That's and you don't have to explain that.
Yeah, I like my kids, and I like some of their friends, but I don't like everybody's kids.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be forced to be with them on Sunday for an hour or 2 hours. Like, I got other things to do.
Right.
I got to worry about my spiritual, you know, where I'm at. I can't worry about some
I like it.
Yeah. And see, and that's something I would totally say yes to that. What I would say no to is if a committee comes and assigns me to decorate the cultural hall. My answer is no.
It's not your thing.
It is not my thing. They will be very disappointed. If I end up being the decorator for the cultural hall, they'll come in and wonder, you know, where the decorations are. And I'll be
I
like,
keep
there's table
thinking about
settings.
half-inflated balloons.
Yeah. Well, you know, there wouldn't be any balloons. There'd just be table settings, maybe tablecloths, and there would be great disappointment. So my response, instead of telling them how I am not a decorator, my response would just be no.
Well, I know
Find
what I'm
someone
good
else.
at, and I know
Yeah.
where my heart lies. I mean, you don't want me teaching your kids. There's not going to be any part in that.
Yeah.
In fact, I've had that calling 10 years ago, and
Did you take it?
I got pregnant, luckily, and I was already irritable. And, you know, I called the bishop and I said, "You're going to have parents calling you. Like, I'm not that fun teacher. I'm that sit your butt in the chair and listen teacher." And so
I'm gonna
he
smack you.
yeah, he agreed. He released me very quickly.
See,
Yeah.
my problem is I would say yes to both of those things, and then during it, I would be so upset at myself
Yeah.
You would blame yourself.
Yeah.
Because
That you are in this situation you
that
don't
I
want to be
said
in.
yes, and it was my fault. I said yes, and I shouldn't have said yes.
or would you blame yourself that you weren't doing 100%?
I would do that too.
See, and that's awful. What an awful thing to do to yourself.
Yeah.
That's not self-care. That's not self-love.
No, it's not.
No.
Saying no is self-care.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
saying no. And yeah, it's self-care. It actually is better for the person that you're saying no to as well, because they can find
Someone else
the
who can
right
do it.
person for that.
Yeah.
And you're sticking with your boundaries, you're sticking with what you know what's good for the both of you. Saying no is a good thing.
So I posted a meme yesterday on Facebook, and I don't know if you all saw it, but it was about Christmas, and it was the rules of Christmas. 1, don't go into debt trying to prove how much you love everyone.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
2, don't, you know, it's okay not to go see your family if it's going to cause you, if they're toxic and it's going to cause you anxiety and emotional distress. And 3, if someone says something about your weight, it is okay to eat them. So,
Yes, it is.
The toxic family
didn't
part,
see it.
I like the toxic family part because that's part of saying no.
Yeah.
It's okay to distance yourself from something that's not going to be healthy for you.
Right.
Even if it's social protocol. It's
Right.
Christmas. We always get
This
together.
is what we have to
And It's
do.
okay not to always get together.
Yeah.
It's
You
okay.
can get together. You can get together some other time too that works better for everyone. And maybe that's a summer thing, or if it
we're
doesn't
all
work.
gonna argue,
Yeah.
I'll send a letter. We'll FaceTime. Like, you don't
Yeah.
have to be in that same room and put yourself through that.
Yeah.
That's part of no and setting those boundaries. You gotta set
Mhm.
more boundaries.
Yeah, I
I
think
agree with
boundaries
that.
are a good thing to finally start learning. I think we're starting to talk about boundaries a lot more, that people are starting to understand what those really are and take a little bit more responsibility for setting those. And I think it's helping relationships all over to do that.
We should probably talk to other ladies who have set boundaries and how to do that, so we can all learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a
we've
good idea.
set
That is a good
boundaries,
idea.
but we need to hear from you guys to see what you've set and how you did it and how you felt
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
I will say, so I'm in a group on Facebook. It's a secret group, of course. It's mostly moms, so I think there's one guy in there. But we talk about boundaries with our family, whether it's our direct family or in-laws or something like that. But it's a group of us, and there's a couple hundred of us in the group. We're kind of learning and we're supporting each other.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay that I haven't talked to my mom in 3 months? She's really mean to me. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Talk about it.
Yeah, and one of the girls in the group is great because she just laid out her plan. Like she said, you know, we gave it was, I believe, her in-laws. Here's what we need. You know, here's where you cross the boundaries, and they've kept these rules, and it's made her marriage better because they've kept these rules. It's made the whole family happier. Maybe not her in-laws, but she's like, I'm keeping my sanity because I'm keeping to these rules.
Yeah.
And you have to keep your sanity for your kids.
I
Yeah,
think it's important to remember when we are setting our boundaries, it is also not about controlling other people. So if your boundaries is, I require you to do this, then
you can't do that.
you can't do that. No, that's not a boundary. That's just you now manipulating them instead of them manipulating you. That's not a good thing. So a boundary is, you know, setting something that I will no longer allow you to do this to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm this is where I end. This is my tolerance level. You know, whatever that is. But so that is another discussion in one of my mom's groups. Is, you know, there was a gal that basically said something along the lines of, I set this boundary with my child. My mom is required to do this when she's, you know, and that's not. You know, if my child is at my mom's house, my mom is required to do this. My mom doesn't. You know,
I might
this.
have seen that one. We
You
might
can't-
be the same group on that one.
We
I've seen
might,
something like that.
But you can't set rules for what someone else has to do.
And,
That's
and
not a boundary.
I saw a lot of the ladies posting like, you're trying to set rules in her home.
Yeah, yeah.
You can
Like
set
you're
rules
trying
in
to.
your home. You can't set rules.
Right,
in
and
other
you
people's
cannot take your child over there or something like that. But it was, you know, you can't work, you can't, you know, this and that, and you have to do this, and
You can't.
you
be
have to watch this
candy
show, and you
and-
have to,
Yeah.
you know, you don't
So
get
why-
to do that.
Why? Why would she set rules if her mother's watching her child? Like,
That's-
if you're paying someone and it's a
Yeah,
sitter,
they come to your
That's an
home and you pay
employment
them.
issue.
employment, yes,
That's
then
an
you
employment.
can set rules
Yeah.
for them.
Right, but you don't get to set the rules for what someone else does in their life.
Mhm.
And I really do think that's important for us to remember, because sometimes setting boundaries, we get confused. And then we're the ones who are actually crossing the boundaries. So yeah, don't do that to other people.
Yeah. Control.
No.
Okay.
No manipulation. That's bad.
It's so hard.
Yeah, yes it is.
To control everyone. Hey, well, let us know down below. All right, and then if you have any other comments or if you want other moms to watch this, then go ahead and share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.